Hello and welcome to the Video Gamer Podcast. My name is Simon Miller, and today I'm joined by Mr. Stephen W. Burns.
Hello.
Jim Trinker.
All right.
And Thomas Orry.
Hello.
It's a very special edition of the Video Gamer UK podcast because we're going to predict what's going to happen at E3. Now, I look at you, Burns. Actually, before we do anything, remember, Twitter, VideoGamer.com, Facebook, VideoGamer.com, YouTube, VideoGamerTV, website, VideoGamer.com. There's four of us in this room. Only one is going to E3. That's man over here, Stephen W. Burns.
Yep.
So you're all prepped up and stuff. You know what you're going to be doing and all that nonsense.
Yep.
But what do you want to see when you go out there? Like, is that really all you want? Like, what about things you don't know? You think he's genuinely serious as well. But is there anything like, you want to be surprised by? We can start with Pez if you want to start with Pez. What do you want to see from Pez?
I like Pez there because it lends an air of familiarity.
That's true.
And Konami also has a bar built into. It makes like an entire English pub. It's really bizarre. It's meant to be for like a global audience, and I suppose people think football is from England, so
Therefore,
but it's like when it's so over the top British, like there's flags everywhere, and it's like when Modern Warfare 3 has that scene set in London, and like there's a man with a bowler hat. And like a corgi and all sorts of shit. No, it's good. It's good to see Pez, obviously, because I love it. But this year is going to be the most exciting E3 for a couple of years. Last year's was a bit of a holding
pattern. Do you really
pattern.
think so?
Yeah.
You think there's some big guns going to be announced?
I've seen the list of appointments, Miller.
That's true.
So, in terms of what's there, what we're going to see, it's certainly more exciting than last year.
Yeah.
Last year, it wasn't a washout, but it felt...
What was the big thing from last year? If we turn our attentions back to 1 year ago, what did people announce that actually
Was it Tomb Raider last year?
That was the thing that created the big controversy. But I mean, did any games get thrown out there that didn't make people upset?
Well, they showed Uncharted, didn't they? Was that E3?
They announced it before, though, hadn't they? That was the first time they showed it, though.
That was
Tomb Raider was Gamescom, wasn't it?
Didn't they have their own special Sony event? I can't remember.
At the
Tomb Raider
Sony
was
event,
Gamescom.
At the Sony event, they had a trailer for... What's it called? For Tomb Raider, and they had the reveal of Uncharted.
So I remember they focused on Batman a lot. The Sony press conference. That was a big thing. They pushed. Obviously, it comes out next week or 2 weeks, whatever. And Powers.
They spent. Well, you were there, Miller. Maybe you blocked it out. Yeah. It was incredible. It goes on for years anyway, and then like 20 minutes or so on.
I remember they had their
TV
awful
show.
marketing slides. Where you're just like, oh no, here we go.
Yeah,
we're up 7%. And no one cares, Sony. I mean, good for you, but no one actually cares.
They had a lot of digs, didn't they?
They did have a lot
of digs.
of
digs at Xbox all the time because they're winning. They can just dig.
It was like a frat house, really.
I think the big one. I mean, I do want to talk about Konami a bit more because I want to. Actually, we'll do it now, just quickly. What do you think they're going to do with Metal Gear Solid? Because you've played a bit of Metal Gear Solid now.
Well, I know what they're going to do with it, but can I say?
No, but okay. Well, outside of, I mean, because the whole stuff with Kojima is basically what I mean. Do you think? They'll obviously have a presence there, but can you see them sweeping it under a carpet a little bit?
No, I don't think so. No. Last year, obviously things were different last year. But
it was on a fucking massive screen last year, blaring out over the South Hall constantly.
Yeah, it'll be like that again. And that was one of the great moments of E3, because you always hear about, was it 2000, I think, when you had the trailer, the first Metal Gear Solid 2 trailer, and people were like, oh my love, this is the greatest trailer. Grown men crying and all of that you hear about.
Nonsense.
But... yeah, it's good to see it. It's like comforting in a way to see just a fucking massive Metal Gear Solid trailer playing and people just stopping
to watch it.
But generally, they're gonna have like a presentation, no doubt, as they always do, and a little walkthrough. But we've already played Metal Gear Solid 5, so that one's on the back burner.
We'll talk about that.
We can talk about that in general. But
I want to talk about the big three, obviously, because they're the three conferences that people get most excited about, as you can imagine. Now, we'll start with Microsoft, because I think out of all three, they're the ones that have to come out with the biggest. To get to the way they want to go, I think they need... This needs to be their E3. They need to walk away going, match that, you assholes.
They should give everyone money.
That would
should
work.
Be like,
they did
under
that
your
once.
seat is $10,000.
Didn't they do that with Xbox Slims once? Xbox 360 Slims, they gave them away at the end of their
I remember
conference.
exactly where I was.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah.
I remember something happened as well, which you can't talk about.
We didn't receive any before the guys go, you bastards.
But there are two games that I've been led to believe are being announced. That this is such a tease, but I can't talk about them because I'll get my head kicked in. But if they do get announced, that's a solid start for Microsoft, especially one of them, because it's something I've been dreaming about for years.
You've not told me this, Miller.
Have I not?
No.
You haven't even told me one of them.
I've told you both of them. I thought I told you as well.
No, but
you must have been in the office when I talked about it. Anyway,
I was out at Metal Gear, wasn't
I probably was that day, yeah. For anyone that is a long-term listener to this, long-term, that counts, listening to this podcast, you can figure out what it is when I say to you, it's something that I bring up all the time.
Hulk
No one
Hogan.
ever reacts to it on this podcast, and people just think I'm joking around. But I was deadly serious, and now it looks like it can actually be a thing. But I think if they do release, if it is true, because you never know with these things ultimately, you know, if that is true, though, I think it's a solid start. But then, I mean, what else do they need to come out with? Because they have to show something on the new Gears of War.
Yeah.
I presume they're going to show the remaster of the first one as well and then say, but hey, Gears of War 4 is also this. Because if they, unless they hold that off to Gamescom, but I think not only do they need to come out with sort of super huge new IP that gets people excited, they need to go, hey, you know, don't forget Halo, you love Halo, don't forget Gears, you love Gears. We know that Quantum Break, I was going to call it Quantum Leap, that's not its name. I want that game. Where's the Quantum Leap game? Everyone would love that, but that's been shifted to Gamescom.
Yeah.
So they've got to have more in their tank than just, I mean, they do stuff with Tomb Raider as well, I imagine. But what else do you want to see from Microsoft?
What?
Well, Halo will get a big blowout on it. But
Guardians.
I imagine they'll have something like the Tomb Raider announcement last year. So something that is not going to be available for other people, even though normally it would have been, is my guess.
Tomb Raider's this year, correct?
Yeah.
Do you know what? Given the current gaming landscape, I actually think that's a real coup for Microsoft now. I love that. I love the last one. And I think if it comes out, I'd probably be itching to play it, really. I may dip my toe. So I actually think that's a really good announcement from them. But I can't see who else they would have signed up of that caliber.
Resident Evil.
Do we think that? Because we know Resident Evil 0 is going to be there, obviously. The trailer
Well,
came
not
out
that one.
yesterday. No, I mean, what I mean is,
You
we know
imagine
that's going to
it.
be there, but do you honestly think they then announce Resident Evil 7 on top of that?
That'd
Isn't
be like a
overkill?
Final Fantasy VII style troll got an exclusive Resident Evil game. Resident Evil 0.
I can't see it.
Capcom playing their cards very close to their chest. They won't even tell me.
I mean, even
known Resident Evil fan, but if
No,
I
I think it's happening.
trundle if I trundle over there to the Resident
Trundle.
to the Resident Evil to the Capcom booth, and Resident Evil 7 is not there, I'll kick off. I'll just say, "Why did you bring me here? I'm very busy
But
today.
why? I mean, I
I
guess
could be in Denny's right now."
You the Waffle House. You could argue that that's the reason they've announced Resident Evil 0 like a month before, because it gives people time to accept it and then move on. But to me, you shoot Resident Evil 0 in the head if you go, but don't worry about that because Resident Evil 7's on the way.
I think
People
that's
be more
for a
excited
legacy
about that.
audience, though, isn't it?
True, fair point.
That's
fair
just
point.
like you're going to get new Gears of War, but doesn't stop you enjoying
Good
old
point.
Gears
Good
of War.
point. I'm a hypocrite because I do think
maybe
they'll do
Dead
both of those.
Rising. Dead Rising, would it be 4?
4,
Dead
yeah.
Rising. That
That
could
was what
be a
2
thing.
years ago. The first, that third one. So
I like that
true,
game,
actually.
you know?
and
I
it
could
sold
probably see that
okay,
happening.
and another one that makes probably use of the hardware could be nice.
Maybe. I'm trying to think what other studios they have under their belt that we're waiting. I mean, one of them is Rare, and you know we'll see what they do. We know
New
obviously we know
haircuts for
that.
the avatars.
Imagine it was. Imagine they trolled us all and Connect is back. Get none of that. No
They've been
Connect
trolling
this year.
us for a long time.
On
Rare
Microsoft
stuff,
or
haven't
Rare?
they? Like the whole Conquer thing that.
That is still the worst
like-
announcement. Last year. You remember, we saw how much you like Conquer, so we put them in a shit game you don't want to play. I'll never get over that. Just make a new Conquer game. Don't tease people. But I think Microsoft have to come out with the biggest games. But I'm sat here thinking about what they could announce. And
Remember
I don't
as well, Phil Spencer's going to be on another stage this year too. He's doing the PC event.
Is he really?
The PC event for the first time ever.
Yeah.
That's happening.
Yeah.
It's been confirmed that Phil Spencer's going to have a section on it. Microsoft are going to have some time on the PC side, so who knows what they're going to do there.
Well, there's
They-
all the Xbox to Windows 10 streaming stuff, isn't there?
Yeah.
Whether or not there's more to it than that.
Oh
who
man,
knows?
we're gonna get so much because Windows 10 comes out in like a month, right? We get so much Windows 10 stuff. I bet Microsoft will not shut up about Windows 10 during the
Well,
next
apparently
2 weeks.
they are going to push gaming more than they have done in recent years.
I
It
bet they
makes
will.
sense because PC gaming is big. They need to get in on that a bit more.
Yeah.
What if Microsoft is more architectural, more
How do you mean?
deep rooted than just games? We spoke about this before.
Well, they've just announced a price cut for the Xbox One.
But I mean, what if they went, right, you've got family sharing now. Like, it's back.
I brought the old stuff back.
We're not doing the checking in bullshit anymore. We've worked our way around that.
Yeah, but you can still share
But
games with
you
them.
can share up to 3 games for X hours, whatever, with your friends.
Yeah, I think
because
that'd
we're
be
now.
fantastic.
This is what I'm excited about for E3 this year is that we're now a couple of years in. We should be seeing strides made.
We will see. I'm sure we
in
will
those
see
regards.
at least a new look to what the Windows 10 version of Xbox interface is going to look like.
Yeah.
So that'll be something. Whether or not they have new stuff with
Yeah,
that is.
I mean it's a bit of a long shot, but if you're, they clearly want to do that, and it was only because people were against it, that they turned around. But like all good Tories, all good policies, they'll be back.
They should do it because it gives it a lovely USP, which I just lovely. It's an interesting word to use that it would have had originally that it now doesn't. I say if you do match that up with the price point, because I imagine they've announced the price drop today because they don't want to focus on that next week, which hopefully means they've got a lot of stuff to talk about. And if they can say, hey, remember that price drop we announced last week? Now you've got all this other stuff as well. So you're paying less for the console that we promised you originally without Kinect.
It's like all that crap about piracy, like a pirated game being a lost sale. It's
just not
true.
It's
all shite.
Yeah.
And maybe people will be worried that, if you can just digitally borrow the game from your friends. But that's crap. If you had Gears of War HD, for example, whatever, and you shared it with me, but I could only play it for 2 hours, and it looked really good,
it's a demo.
I'd be like, you know what? I may pick this up.
Yeah.
So that's what I'd like them to do, because I believe that's what the console needs really badly. It needs something. They can't win that war against PlayStation by just butting heads over the same old crap.
I totally agree. Because you know that they'll probably open with Black Ops 3. Well, you'd imagine that would be... If that deal is still in play. Well, if that deal is still in place, I imagine Activision said, well, we go first.
I'd like to see them open with an exclusive, though, like a Tomb Raider in-game trailer or demo.
I could see that happening as well.
Because that is essentially a third-party game that is exclusive. It's the biggest thing they've got, I think, in terms of an exclusive.
But I mean, eventually you'll segue into your Call of Duty 10 minutes or whatever.
It'd be interesting because people were speculating that they've lost or they haven't renewed the deal.
Well, maybe. Well, that would be a great time to
if they
find
have
that
it,
out.
then they'll probably say, we still got it.
I'm looking forward to that bit in our live coverage because then I'll go get a cup of tea.
The Call of Duty bit? Hey, it could be all right.
That's always the cup of tea bit. I really hope Microsoft have a strong E3 this year because, because of Microsoft's sort of, let's face it, incompetence in the past few years, they've let Sony win by phoning it in. And that shouldn't be allowed to happen because there's no solid competition.
It's WCW,
there's no solid fucking opposition.
Yeah.
People can just do whatever they want.
Exactly.
Sony haven't worked hard enough to win.
Let's use that as a transitioning period right now.
Quickly, before we move on to Sony,
that's fine. Yeah.
Microsoft, I think one of the big things I've noticed that over the last year is that PS4, there's always stuff coming out. Even if they're not the biggest games, there's a lot of it. It's indie stuff all the time. Microsoft, you get like the odd indie game. And as much as I've hated previous E3s where Sony have had like half an hour indie games, now we've had it for a while. Xbox misses that kind of constant stream of games. Yeah, and I think they do need to have some kind of, we are going to improve this, you are going to get regular releases. Like the schedule for the differences are like, Sony, you get tons of it, and they're always promoting it all the time. Xbox, you get like the odd, like, we had Massive Chalice, like, it was a free game, which is all right, but then lots of the stuff you're getting is either stuff that's been on PS4 for a while already, or like stuff like Lifeless Planet, which is a bit, limp.
Yeah, to say the least. I agree. I think especially now where those kinds of games have gained massively in popularity over the last few years, through stuff like PS Plus. And you're right, Microsoft don't have that at all. So they need to sort that out.
They've kind of dedicate to, but in terms of like the idea Xbox stuff, they've done more with it, but I still think it's way behind what Sony are doing.
They should dedicate a good section of the conference to here are independent titles that you'll only be able to play on Xbox One that look cool. And they had Ori and the Blind Forest. Yeah. That's pretty good. Yeah. Should do more stuff like that. But yeah, going back to what you said about Sony, Jim, is that they themselves have said we don't have many first-party titles this year. So what the hell are they going to talk about? Uncharted 4 we know's gone. No chance I don't think we're seeing No Man's Sky. I mean, both will be featured in the conference. But
No Man's Sky,
year.
You don't think it'll be this year?
No, I don't think it'll be this year at all. I can't see it happening. There's not... unless they come out and show much more than they already have. I don't think it's anywhere near being finished.
I really hope that... Sony always have one that you can download right now, right?
More often than not,
that goes live during the conference. Imagine that was No Man's Sky. Boom, one.
Well, maybe, yeah. Maybe if they do that.
Not going to happen, but imagine it did.
What could they announce? Because I think... Uncharted 4, people are going to look and go, wow, it looks amazing. And if they do the No Man's Sky
thing... We've already
thing,
seen that as well. So
that's what I mean. What's the new stuff they've got? It's not this year...
God of War would be good.
The remastered one or a proper new one?
No, proper new one. At least
I can't see it.
At least a trailer or at least something like it's coming next year or whatever. Just so that there's some excitement around it.
What about teasing Last of Us 2?
That could happen. Maybe I don't
Uncharted
know.
4 is quite far along now, isn't it?
But it's next year it's coming out, yeah.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
you could tease it now.
Some kind of
is there going to be a Last of Us 2?
The
First of Us.
I don't understand the title. The Last of Us 2. I don't give it. It'd be like the last action.
Do you know what they should do?
Two.
If they want to make a sequel for that game, which I'm so against, because I think that game is perfect, they should just set it within that world, but it not
I'm sure
follow.
they will. That makes
There will
sense,
be a sequel, though, Millage.
I know,
You have to accept it.
Yeah, but it can't. But it shouldn't follow the same characters. It should just be
have a
completely
different title as well.
Just be set somewhere in that world.
Yeah,
different
just be
people.
in that world. So like the universe. That is the universe you're in. But Joel's doing his thing, Ellie's doing her thing, and you're two other different people, different time period, whatever. Just don't call The Last of Us.
That's almost a tough sell without making it seem like one of those B movie kind of sequels where the main stars aren't available. Now this is just thematics rather than we can't afford them.
Yeah,
but
it'd be like Escape from Planet of the Apes, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that sort of thing. I don't know. I think it's too hot to touch at the moment. I think if you were going to do a Last of Us sequel, it would. You could frame it like The Godfather Part 2. You could frame it with an older Ellie and a younger Joel. So when he's younger, after the infection starts, and she's older as the infection rages forward and it flashes in their timeline. So you can see how
it does need to be ambitious, whatever it is.
Yeah, it can't just be.
If it's the same
a clicker. I got this one.
I did this for 20 hours. Don't worry about it. I got it down. I don't know, but if we do see it, I think it'll be a tease.
A mega tease, won't it?
Yeah, like 2 seconds. Flashes up on screen.
It'll just be a logo. Be like Elder Scrolls 6.
Which Jim is. Do you want to talk about that now? Or you want to get to that later? How you've challenged the internet to.
I'm fucking convinced.
To the point you're willing to put money on it as well, right?
Not that convinced.
Okay. Well, there's the conference.
I'm rejecting that. Was this on the Q&A podcast?
Yeah, now we're going public with it.
Because that was for the Patreon people, and now I'm getting tweets from those guys going, I'll take you up on a tenner bet. And I'm like, no.
Bethesda, I think we'll get, obviously, Fallout 4, Doom, new Wolfenstein stuff. Everyone disagrees with me, but you wait and see when that Wolfenstein logo pops up.
I think it's way too early for new Wolfenstein.
No, you wait and see.
Unless you know something.
I don't know nothing, but you wait and see when that new Wolfenstein logo pops up. Like, Miller, how does he know this shit? I had 2 other ones as well. What were the 2 other ones I had for
just
Bethesda
all their
things?
games. Just all of them.
What else do they have, though? Doom,
Dishonored.
That's right, Dishonored
is surely more like the Wolfenstein.
Yeah. But they need both. If you're having a conference, you've got to go in big guns.
Doom and Fallout are massive.
That's the thing, Mel. They're not, as much as people are looking forward to Fallout 4, they're not going to fill an hour-long conference with fucking Fallout 4 and Doom.
Exactly.
People, that'd be, if they just said we're going to play this for an hour, people would be happy with it.
Yes, but they want to compete with EA, and EA don't do that, do they? EA say, here's 9 games.
I still think they'll have no more than they'll have Fallout, they'll have Doom, and I think they'll have
I had
one
6
other
games.
big new game.
I'm going with 6, but I can't remember what they are now. But I predicted 6.
Do you think,
I'm sticking with 6.
Do you think Bethesda will do anything like what EA did last year? Where they just showed a bunch of shit that's not.
That was a joke.
EA showed a bunch of stuff that's just was nowhere near in a state where you could show
it. That's what I mean. Yeah,
it's just a bunch of polygons, untextured fucking polygons. Everyone's like, "What the fuck's this? We don't know yet."
Don't forget
messing about.
The what was the racing studio? I've forgotten their name.
Criterion.
You just went, we got this idea for a game. May make it. Then what's the name of it? I don't know. It's some shit we're doing. That was a trailer at E3. Never heard from again, unless they mentioned it this year. Before we move on to the sort of third parties, though, Nintendo. Well, they're doing a. What do you call it? What do they call it?
They've
Direct.
got their usual thing. They've got the Direct and they've got the Treehouse events where they're
pretty good.
They're quite good. If you're watching E3 from outside,
they do it well.
Good. It's just what they have to show off. I don't know. Like it feels like.
Well, I think it'll focus on Zelda. I know it's not this year. Zelda will be focused on massively.
They're not. Apparently, they're not. It's not there.
Don't believe it.
That's what they've said.
Why would they not show it off?
Because clearly, something's happened. It's not coming out on the Wii U.
Okay, well, if not, then Star Fox will take all that. Star Fox will be focused, and also
Animal Crossing maybe. But
also F-Zero will be there. There you go. There's Miller's prediction.
Well, and Metroid. What about all the games?
Metroid will be there too.
They'll have
Mario Maker,
another Mario game.
Yeah, probably 2 Mario games.
A new Mario Kart game.
No, they won't have that. They announced DLC for Mario Kart, but they won't announce.
I think it'd be really disappointing. They have a lot of.
No, that's one per machine, isn't it, Mario?
They have a lot of 3DS games probably that I don't care about.
I think they'll announce a new handheld as well.
Really?
There you go. Look at that. Shooting on all cylinders.
They'll do Amiibo talk, won't they?
Is that what the NX is, basically, a new handheld?
Well, we don't know, do we? Who knows what the NX is? No. It could be anything. Maybe it's a back scratcher. Don't know where that came from. So that's it. No one's got anything else from Nintendo then? Or Sony. We can throw them both in there.
I think Sony needs something. I think they need like a big new game. Sony's first-party stuff, generally, they have some big hits, but they still, I think they're quite a way behind in terms of...
Oh, I know what you're going to get. Killzone people. What are they called?
Them,
yeah, Guerrilla.
Their game is there, but I don't know
they're
what it
rumoured
is.
to be working on a couple of games, aren't they?
Yeah.
So, like, the big rumour is about the big RPG thing, isn't it? That's been around for years, this rumour.
Oh, my God.
But who knows?
Before I forget, Telltale will also announce 9 new games, all episodic, and it would just ruin them even more than it already has.
Telltale, they're going to do loads of shit based on random TV shows, aren't they?
Yeah, True Detective.
Like
We
in
called it
Melrose
already.
Place or whatever.
Beverly Hills 90210. Jason Priestley's back. What was his sister called? Who went off the rails? Can't remember. She had dark hair.
So he's so fucking done with Telltale. So done. Like,
Well, I tell you, man, like they were rubbish, then they were good for a little bit, and now they've kind of lost it again.
I thought
they had
people
a
still
big
like
hit.
their games. I've
Yeah,
been reading
they're
about
doing okay,
like,
but I don't.
Game of Thrones is apparently getting better.
they had a big, they had that big Walking Dead hit, and then everything they did after was the same bullshit, same art style, same everything.
They do
I'm
new
just tired of
engine
it.
would be good.
Yeah, they never will though. It's all about cost cutting.
They should do one on Pez.
They'll do it. They'll do a football one. They'll do a football one, and they should do a wrestling one as
They're
well.
doing a Minecraft one, so they can presumably do anything.
Following Steve.
Telltale's
Steve from
Pro Evolution.
Minecraft. Yeah, Telltale be amazing. Telltale's Pez. Right, EA, as we mentioned them.
Ronaldo will remember that.
Now, we've made this game be so good. You've upset Messi. Will Mass Effect 4 be
Yeah.
EA's conference?
Yes.
In
I'm sure
what
that-
form? Trailer or gameplay?
It was out there. Was it last year or the year before?
Well, they
did
more.
that.
Oh, we're
they
making
did the
Mass
behind the
Effect 4.
scenes look. They're bound to show something. They can't not mention it after they mentioned it last year.
More importantly, Mirror's Edge, potentially called Catalyst, is going to be
Yeah.
there. Now, I don't give a shit what they call the subtitle. I'm so excited about a new Mirror's Edge. Mirror's Edge, I'm starting to think is the greatest game that no one talks about anymore. It was so good. It was perfect,
good.
that game.
It was really good.
It was excellent. Did everything you wanted to do, and the combat was rubbish, but you shouldn't have played it with combat anyway. It wasn't meant to be played that way. That was obviously put in to appease a wider audience. But that is a game I think I'm most excited about seeing, like how what they've done to it, what it looks like. Although I am still worried they pull a Ubisoft and go, we never talked about Mirror's Edge 2. It's like, you fucking did, you liars. But now I'm excited about it.
Mass Effect.
No, Mirror's Edge. We can talk
Mirror's
about Mass
Edge
Effect.
2.
To me,
Mirror's
they're
Edge Catalyst.
yeah, they're going to have to do a big sell job on Mass Effect 4 with me, because I really like those games with Commander Shepard. Like, that was the appeal to me.
See, that's how people would feel with the Last of Us sequel
Yeah, you're
without,
right, yeah, fair play.
without Dickhead and Dickhead. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Those
people are
two
it's like
winners.
it's like Terminator sequels without Arnie. You just think,
Yeah, Christian Bale yelling at people. But no, I mean, you were a big Mass Effect guy, Jim. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
What do they need? I mean, do you care? I mean, do you just want more Mass Effect? You don't care if Commander Shepard's
I'm
in it or
okay with
not?
it being
Yeah.
because the impression I get from what little has been released so far, it looks like it's going to be like a clean slate, new character, new part of the galaxy,
New time period as well, right?
Yeah, and going to be sort of like tenuously related to the old trilogy in terms of it's the same universe, but basically nothing that happens is going to be very, very related at all, which I'm quite happy with, because all I really want is another sci-fi RPG trilogy, like something that feels as good as Mass Effect did
What
back in
about
the day.
Star Trek, but based on like the game mechanics of Mass Effect?
Yeah, I'd be down with that.
Or if it was an exclusive to Xbox,
I wouldn't be down with
3D,
that.
I wouldn't buy an Xbox even for Star Trek the game.
Nah. Nah.
He says that now, but it's a trailer.
No, it's
They'll
only
be
because
like,
I don't
oh my
have 300 quid. But
That's true.
I think Mass Effect 4 doesn't need to do much to sell me, because I just want to be in that world and doing those things that you do in that world.
That's
and
fair enough.
I mean, as much as I loved my Commander Shepard, I'm quite happy to do it as somebody else. You know,
That makes sense. I kind of get it because, well, no, about Mirror's Edge, it's the same thing. I just want a new Mirror's Edge. I don't care if Faith's in it. I mean, I think she would be, given everything that they're tweeting.
They've shown
out
her
and
off
stuff.
already, haven't
That's
they?
what I mean, yeah. But she may not be the playable character, though. Maybe a Metal Gear Solid 2 situation where she's in it, but you're actually playing someone else.
Another reboot, even though they only had one.
Probably. But that was so long ago now, and that kind of was controversial at the time because it didn't really sell or sort of hit what they wanted it to hit. But I mean, if they have the courage to sort of just scrap combat entirely and say it's a time trial / parkour / platforming game, it will be fantastic. It doesn't need combat. That was the best thing about it. It was the the satisfaction of doing these levels in a quicker. It's like a racing game. You'd love it, Tom.
I played it loads,
I know,
Miller.
I'm kidding. I'm winding you up. But I mean, that's what I want from
They
it.
could have combat as long as that
Hand to hand,
as long as you
maybe.
disarm someone and then it kind of takes over the the shooting mechanics so that you use it. It's like a perk. You disarm someone, it takes down a couple of people, rather than having to aim the gun in a really weird way.
Yeah, I've always hand-to-hand combat. That was fine. That wasn't too bad. But I don't want any gunplay stuff. And obviously they'll talk about Battlefront a lot. I imagine that will be their big. That and obviously the sports games will be their big. Hey, don't forget we've got.
I'm quite looking forward to see what Need for Speed looks like, just because I like racing games and it's meant to be their big new reboot thing, even though it's just another racing game. But
yeah. No, I'm well up for a new Need for Speed that reminds me of how good the old ones are. Make it like Carbon, the secret best Need for Speed game that no one remembers. Well, I have I can't talk. I have a few surprises though. What do we want from EA? Anything you want. Obviously FIFA, Madden, and then all the other sports games they've got. But outside of that,
Dead Space.
Dead Space 4.
Or
again,
they
never
just
was.
reboot it, wouldn't they? If they ever do another one, it'll just be
Space Dead.
Dead Space again.
Space Dead.
It's not the same game. Well, Visceral have just finished on Battlefield Hardline, but I imagine the Visceral working on another Battlefield game.
Well, they're doing Star Wars as well, aren't they?
That's
Star
true.
Wars
Yeah.
game. So
I don't think we'll see Dead Space. Ubisoft. Let's move on to them. The Division will be there, I assume, because it'd be insane if it's not. We'll have what the hell have they got? Rainbow Six.
Rainbow Six. Yeah.
Got a big booth tour booked in where E3's past, you just go behind closed doors. You have a bit of a handshake at the door, and you look at the people queuing. And you're like, "See ya." No, well, I mean you kind of do that.
No, you actually do that.
I mean, I don't because I'm not seeing them.
What have they actually got other than Rainbow Six and?
They've got Assassins.
Of course, Assassin's Creed. How did I forget about that? Yeah.
And then they're bound to have. Ubisoft are like the kings of. And here's one more thing.
I want Prince of Persia. Bring back Prince of Persia.
You think about the games they haven't brought back.
Is it really?
That is one of them. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Watch Dogs sequel, but I'd like Prince of Persia. I really loved the 2008 one. Like the
I didn't. That's the one I didn't like.
That's the one I know. It seems like that is the one I'd want a sequel to.
Yeah.
Whereas, like the other ones, I liked, but they're nowhere near as. I like that one a lot more than all the other ones.
I liked. What was the last one they did with a lot of platforming section? He froze water. Anyway, I really like that one. I thought it was excellent.
Time or something like that.
I thought that was really good. They must have something up their sleeve though that's not part of their canon.
Driver.
No, but that's part of their sort of IP history. I mean, they had the Division last year or 2 years ago. 2 years ago. Then last year was Rainbow Six, but they went, "Hey, you remember this?" So they must have something in their canon. They're gonna maybe what's that stupid war game they had?
Haven't they said though that they've got their franchises they're going to focus on? Didn't they say that fairly
Ubisoft
recently?
production line,
where they've got their games now and they're just going to build on those rather than having a load of new IPs.
Well, in that case, it'd be Watch Dogs and then potentially a Prince of Persia game, I guess. If you're going
to Driver Miller.
No, who wants a new driver in this room?
That last one was all right.
The last one.
Not the speedboat one.
The one with the maps.
The one where you're in a coma.
The one where you're in a coma, yeah.
You spectrally jump between people.
That was a stupid video game that was.
Gotcha.
Oh, dear.
How do we solve the problem of people wanting to get out of the car? They can't. They're dead. Oh, okay.
That's not real. Now go play your video game. What about everything else? Anything else that could come out of E3 2015?
We've still got Square have got their own.
Yeah, but they'll do what? Deus Ex, and they'll do
Square. If you look at what they could have, it's a fairly good lineup. Like it depends if they go full out. Here's everything, because they've already said what Final Fantasy isn't going to be there, but I bet it is in some way.
How can they not talk about Final Fantasy? They're doing their own conference. That would be ridiculous.
Someone reminded me of it the other day. Do you remember late last year when they had that Final Fantasy 7 thing? And it said Final Fantasy 7, and the whole crowd went,
nuts.
It's the PC version.
It's now on PC 20 years later.
It's the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Oh, what a troll that was. Well, I don't know. I don't think they're going to have anything other than Hitman and Deus Ex that's really going to get people
Just Cause.
talking. Oh, Just Cause will be there, but everyone knows about that.
Kane and Lynch 3.
Kane and Lynch 3 for Burns.
It's not going to happen. Burns would know about it already. Someone would have gone to say, please...
I'll be the only person there.
Yeah.
It'll be me, Michael Gapper from Frontier Development, and Tim Rogers.
That'll be it.
Three of the worst dickheads in video games.
Well pumped for Kane and Lynch 3. Oh, dear.
Have we forgotten anyone? Is that it?
Oh, there's always people we've forgotten about.
What? We've got Activision. We talked a little bit about them, but they're going to have Skylanders.
I mean, Activision really do stick to their franchises.
There's always someone.
Do you know what made me sad, Miller? You know what made me sad? I spoke to Tom about this yesterday. Is that I've been looking over the show map to see where everyone is and where their booths are and everything. So just putting the names and numbers of all the meeting rooms, etc., in, so we know where we're going. And Sega. You know, you think back to classic E3 and Sega, the big stands, and then the stands get smaller or whatever. Obviously, I think, and unless I'm wrong, but according to the official E3 play-by-play, this is what the booths they've got. They've got a tiny meeting room, which I think is probably the size of our boardroom, upstairs on the concourse, and that actually made me sad. It's like, shit, Sega. Like, I'm hoping I get there, and it's, in the words of Phil Spencer, a head fake. And they've got a massive, Imperial Sonic somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, it feels a bit weird to, E3. When I think of E3, I think of Nintendo, Sony, and Sega from classic days sort of thing. Then Microsoft's increased presence. But yeah, that took me back a little bit. Like, oh shit.
Well, that's where they are now, aren't they? Everybody's left. Sonic is dead.
But a few publishers, some of the people who, or developers, are like, oh yeah, they're going to have a big presence, like Crytek are in a room somewhere. Like,
well, Crytek have a couple of big announcements apparently.
Yeah.
From word on the street is that they're going to focus on a certain new technology that's headed our way.
Oh.
On that note, why don't we talk about how VR is going to be at E3? Because I imagine a lot of companies are going to focus on it now because these headsets are coming out within the next year or so.
There's a fuckload of copycat headsets as well, not just Morpheus and Oculus, but there's a load of,
I can imagine.
There's ones that are mobile focused. Samsung have got that one.
There's one called Dive, isn't there? Yeah.
I think this will be the E3 where you see big franchises, or at least big publishers, attaching themselves to VR projects.
We didn't talk about that with Sony, did we? But clearly a big part of their conference will be the Morpheus stuff.
Of course, yeah.
And it'd be good to see what kind of games you're going to get on that, because at the moment all we've seen is tech demos essentially.
That's what they need to announce a release date for this now and say you can buy this headset in 6 months' time with these games. Because at the moment it's just become like some fantasy that somebody made up once.
Yeah,
it's been but it's true. It's been talked about for like 2 years. Who in here and who actually have access to them have used one outside of a conference? It's ridiculous. Like, they actually have to make this a real thing because people will start to get bored of the idea and be like, well, I want to play the damn thing.
I still think VR is going to be a fad that is never not going to take off until it's more of a thing. It's just like Kinect and like Move and all those things. They're okay. They kind of will sell a few extra units and they give that console another boost, I suppose. But I can't see a thing where you have to sit in your living room closed off from everyone else being a thing that takes off.
No, I agree.
I'd like that, though.
I'd never use it. I'm always worrying about home invaders.
You take it off, house is full, everything's
headphones
gone.
Are bad enough. With headphones, you're so closed off already.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true. But I think if we come out of this, the E3 and you don't have something like, I'm not saying this game, but like an Uncharted that's attached itself to VR, it's just going to peter out. Because people want to know.
It's going to be the Crash Bandicoot VR experience, isn't it?
I'd play that, it'd be fine. I like Crash Bandicoot. Crash Boom Bang. What an amazing game. Right, before we wrap up E3 chat, is there anything sort of lurking in anybody's stomach that they're desperate to get out? Or if you don't say it now, and then we get to the podcast in 2 weeks' time, you can't say I told you so. This is your I told you so.
Microsoft are going to win.
I think they've got to win. They have to.
And they've got to win big, we've got so much stuff you can't possibly ignore our console anymore.
It's like those big Super Sundays for all the football fans out there.
No, it's true.
When your team is 6 points behind, playing the team that are 6 points ahead, if they don't win this, then that's it.
Yep.
And they've got to win. And Microsoft really right now should be throwing almost everything, cooking up all sorts of shit. Do we have this game? No. Well, do we have a logo? Yep. Make something right now.
Yeah, that's true. But saying that though, and I imagine there'd be quite a few people like this, and I realise it makes me massively part of the problem. If they do announce the original Gears of War remastered plus Gears of War 4, they've got me. That's it. I'm done.
Gears of
War, very much happening, Miller.
Gears of War HD Remaster available today. When you get it, you get beta access.
That wouldn't surprise me at all.
And if they release it digitally for £10, I know they won't.
£10.
I know they won't, but can you imagine it said $9.99? It would sell
quid.
shit. It would be 20,
What
25.
would you do, Miller? If on Tuesday, is it Tuesday the conference?
Yeah.
They announce Gears of War HD, it's available now. You don't have an Xbox One.
I'd go and buy one
on the next day.
Well, as soon as I could, yeah, because I've said it before though. As soon as I know Gears of War, I know it is, but officially a thing, I'll buy an Xbox One. That's the next Gears of War machine. That's all it is now. That's all I need. But also, I do want to play Tomb Raider because I still think that last Tomb Raider game was fantastic.
I'm with you. I love that Tomb Raider game.
It wasn't like. It was nowhere near being like a 10 out of 10 game, but it was such a solid 8 out of 10 game.
I mean, I can't afford an Xbox One, so I'm holding out for a PC version of that. But
get it.
I think.
You get a PS4, can't you? That Tomb Raider game? Oh, you mean the new one? Sorry,
the new one. Yeah. So I'll be holding out for PC version. But yeah, I think. This year the Microsoft fight back is going to start in earnest, and they're going to bring it back
because they need reasons for people to traditionally, well, the Xbox 360, you bought it because it was the best thing to play everything, essentially. Apart from a few PS3 games which showed that the PS3 was capable of a bit more. But now, like, I've got a friend who he's like a casual gamer, and I saw him at the weekend, and he loves Fallout, and he said, I just saw the Fallout trailer on your website. I'm going to get a new Xbox One when that comes out. And he said, should I get it on Xbox One? I said, well, probably it'd be better on PS4. And he's now going to get a PS4. I basically talked him out of the sale. But that's the kind of thing. Sony are winning everything because it is the platform that wins by default on almost every game. Yeah. So Microsoft have to have stuff that makes you ignore that and get other stuff that you can't get on the PS4.
DX12, innit?
All right.
Oh my gosh, that was absolutely terrifying the way you did that.
I'm here, I've had a Red Bull, I've got Smarties. It's E3, I'm so excited.
Dave, nobody can hear you, Dave. You're 3 feet away
next to you.
That's the wrong side of the microphone.
Dave is so pumped about E3, it's ridiculous. And now he's walking around the room.
All right, Dave.
This mic. I wonder if people can tell the difference, Jim.
Dave's been on the gag.
Oh, man.
He needs to be drug tested immediately.
Dave, do you have any E3 predictions?
Dave, here you go, Dave.
I'm just going to lean next to you. Oh, I'm going to share this with E3 predictions.
Yeah. You could have any. We've done all the publishers and everyone now, so anything you've got, you can shout
Predictions.
out. Predictions. Remember, if you don't do it now, it's too late in 2 weeks' time. You can't do your whole told you so moment. If you predict it now, you're ahead of the curve.
I'm all about the new Hitman.
No one talked about that.
It's got to be there.
Why?
Because it has to be there.
In what sense, though? I mean,
so your reasoning works.
What if they focus on like Just Cause and Deus Ex?
If it isn't there, look, they've been speaking about it.
There.
18 months they've been talking about this game. Well, they haven't, that's the point. They've been talking about it, but they've announced it 18 months ago. Sure, it can't not be there another year unless you're Quantum Break.
It never comes. Do you get a demo or a trailer, though? Like, what do they show
for
off?
Hitman?
Yeah. Or just a tease, like his bald head.
No, I think you have to.
I don't know.
They've been quite open about development, haven't they? Like, these are not massively open, but less so than.
They haven't been open at all, Burns. That's the whole point.
About? They've been putting little blog posts up about the things that they intend to do, etc.
By the way, what is that all about? Little blog posts announcing games. Have we discussed that before? Square did that a lot. Oh yeah, we're doing a new Tomb Raider, doing a new Deus Ex, doing a Hitman, and then they seem to forget that they've announced them.
Well, we know who does that. Little team called Ubisoft. We've already chatted about that once. So maybe that's why they do it as blog posts.
Beyond Good and Evil 2, mate. Don't know if we've ever said Beyond Good and Evil 2 in our life.
It's the thing. You do that at a big conference. You show off gameplay footage. Well, you would assume it'd be hard to backtrack, but apparently not. You do it as a little blog post. You can kind of just, shove it under the radar, sweep it under the carpet in case things go awry.
It's a blue one.
Blue Smarty.
No more Smarties for Dave.
Man,
no more blue
Dave
Smarties
is
for Dave.
off on
What
Smarties.
else? No, I'm excited about a lot. I'm excited to see Mirror's Edge.
Oh, yeah, we said that.
Need for Speed. EA's going to have a strong show.
Well, like last year, they need it. Battlefront as well, don't forget. Plus all their sports games, which can't say I can't say too much. But after chatting to Brett earlier, FIFA this year apparently is quite.
I've
quite
heard
good.
that from a third party as well.
Yeah, apparently, it's really good.
A third party that loves PES,
So
which worries me because it seems like EA has done some good work.
Well, if they've got good FIFA, good Battlefront, obviously, good Need for Speed, and Mirror's Edge. That's pretty, and Mass Effect. I mean, that's not a bad lineup, is it? And they've probably got some other things we don't know about as well.
It's going to be an amazing year for games. Amazing. One of the best years, I think, in ages.
This is what Burns.
Yeah.
You agreed with this at the start of the podcast.
I disagree now.
First party, when Gears comes out, it's going to be like, whoa.
Well, I'd say,
welcome back.
If Gears comes, I'm buying Xbox One, so that's what Microsoft need to do.
I think the gen transition kind of lost it a little bit. It didn't feel like the golden era anymore, and I think now it fucking feels like the golden era again.
This will be the E3 as well, and I imagine a lot of people get rid of last gen now. Like, you won't see these crossover titles. Like Xbox 360 and PS3 will actually be left in the dust.
I saw people moaning that Fallout 4 is going to be next gen.
That's perfect. It has to be.
And it's just like, but what do you expect? Those
Really?
machines
There was
are
moaning
fucking
about
10
that?
years old. A couple of folk on Twitter.
2 people.
But it's
Kidding me?
Fucking.
You have to accept that now, because if publishers and developers don't start doing that, you're never going to get the advancements that you need. You have to start focusing all your concentration on one thing. Fallout 4 has to be PS4. Is it PC as well? Then that's for PC. Yeah, it has to be those three only. What else can you do? Dave, anything else you want to give a shout out to? Dave's sitting on the floor now.
I've never done a podcast like this before. I'm on my knees. It's amazing. Yeah. The thing is, the microphone keeps falling even lower, so I have to go even closer to the floor. What else? Last Guardian, of course.
That's interesting. We didn't bring that up. You really think it's going to be there? And if it is there, is it called The Last Guardian?
No, it won't be there. It absolutely won't be there.
But if it is there, it's not going to be the last Guardian.
What if it is there?
It'd be something completely different.
What if it is there?
How much sugar have you had?
Oh, loads.
I don't...
Mate, Red Bull's...
Ain't going to be there. What if it is there? What if it is there, mate? Ain't going to be there, though.
I'm so sorry, everyone listening at home.
I don't think that... I'd love to think... I mean, it's terrible because... Eco and Shadow of the Colossus together, like two of the best games ever made, and that's it. That company has just vanished off the face of the planet.
That's one of the best games ever made.
The thing is, like, what Sony have already said, they're a bit light this year. What's Sony got? Really?
Well, we don't know. We've predicted they're going to have a bad E3.
They could have nothing this year.
Yeah.
And all they need to do is roll out a trailer for The Last Guardian. They've won. That's it. Sony wins.
You know what they spent?
Maybe not. In certain people's eyes, they will have won.
We get the industry chatting, which always helps.
Remember, I think they spent last year. We talked about it earlier. Mentioned it. 20 minutes on the Powers, that TV show that they were financing, and we never seemed to hear anything about it. That's been out on US PSN for ages, apparently. Because I looked into it because I wanted to watch that.
Oh.
And
does anybody care?
Not in Europe.
Jim.
I'm the only man who cares.
But that's a lot of stuff. Like all the stuff the Xbox was talking about way back in the day about, look at you've got this deal with ESPN. It's like, I'd watch that. Not in the UK.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's the problem, isn't it? When you have these territory deals, it kind of...
Yeah.
Nintendo TV.
It's a load of shite.
Is that a real thing?
Well, not anymore. Not over
right.
here.
I was going to say, I don't remember that at all.
Eddie Izzard's in Powers. He's one of ours. Why haven't we
There you go.
got it?
You have to-
Fuck's sake.
No, don't download it. That's illegal. But, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
What I really want this year, when you say to me, what are you looking forward to? What I'm really looking forward to is a surprise. Because there hasn't been a surprise at E3 for ages.
How big are we talking there?
no.
We're talking about, like, say, Microsoft conferences finishes, dark screen, it comes up with Silent Hills. Talking about that kind of stuff.
Elder
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Elder Scrolls 6.
It's not going to happen, Jim. Or do you mean that? Or do you mean like a new IP that you see? Like The Division, when Ubisoft did that. What kind of surprise do you want?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
But from a first party, I think.
Yeah. Do you know what? I'm going to say it for fun now. Microsoft will have Silent Hills. All that nonsense
They
was...
won't.
Not for $1 billion, but Microsoft
That was
will
the
do...
biggest load of
I
shit
know,
I've
it's
ever
not
heard in
going to
my life.
happen. I'm just
Miller.
saying it just in case.
Want to see Rare's game? Intrigued by that?
Rare's 2 games. What could one of them be?
Wow.
Who knows?
Simon Miller.
I've already teased it massively on this. It could
you
be
really?
bollocks as well. It could be absolute lies and I'm like an idiot, but oh my gosh, if it's not, I'm so excited.
No, they've
I'm
said
so
that they're gearing up to announce multiple games. I've said that before.
Yes.
Whether they'll both be at E3 or what, I don't know.
Microsoft got if Rare have 2 games, Microsoft may as well go, here are the 2 games coming from Rare. Especially if one is a proper quote unquote Rare game and not some Kinect avatar nonsense. Because what was the last proper Kinect game? What was the last proper Rare game we got? What was the game before?
Kinect Sports Rivals?
No, but that's a Kinect game, wasn't it? That was never their
Banjo game, yeah.
Which Banjo? Oh yeah, Nuts and Bolts.
Nuts and Bolts.
Oh shit, I forgot about that. Okay, so that was what, 6 years ago, 7.
Thing is, though, have we spoken about this before, the ukulele thing?
No, I don't think we
Because
have.
loads of people are like, ukulele, I'm going to support it. It's 3D platformers coming back. It's not out till the end of next year. What if Rare come out with a 3D platformer? I don't think it'll be Banjo. It might be something different.
What if they did come out Banjo? Can you imagine?
That's out at the end of this year. People are going to be like, well, I've got my 3D platformer that's bigger budget, that's by Rare, but
It could hurt.
ukulele is still a year
Yeah,
away.
but it is
Like,
by a company called Rare. But is it by Rare?
no, sure.
True. But it could hurt it. I think it could hurt it. Imagine they did do Banjo Kazooie as well. Ukulele then would stuffer maybe. Stuffer. It's a word I just made up. It's struggling.
Well,
and
you can't,
stuffer
can
together.
it? Scottish money.
Well, that's true, actually. Yeah, so they're fine. But will people care as much? Who knows? Right.
It's just so exciting.
Last chance for... You're more excited than us, I think, Dave, about E3.
Really?
I'm slightly
you lot have been
excited
a bunch
about
of boring bastards.
No, we've been positive, but you come in with like sugar rush highs, so you sound pumped as well. We don't sound as
I'm pumped about California Pizza Kitchen.
No, I hear it.
Oh,
That
yeah.
doesn't serve a decent enough pizza, I hear. Such a joke that you're looking at me blankly. I'll remind you after this podcast what I'm talking about.
Oh, no, I've got
You
it.
just got it right, yeah.
I ordered a Hawaiian there last year. It was weird.
But
Why?
they've got really good Wi-Fi.
Because
They do, yeah.
I was expecting,
When the
Hawaiian.
fuck did you guys go to California Pizza?
You were there,
You
Jim.
were there, Jim.
Was I there?
Yes.
I don't remember this at all.
Yeah, you were there.
Did I have brisket?
No, you had a pizza.
Did I have a pizza?
Yeah, it's called California. You didn't go, give me some brisket. They brought you
I
a
don't
pizza.
remember eating a fucking pizza
You
last
did.
year.
You enjoyed it. You thought it was lovely.
Jim, I think you were out of it
must
for a
have
lot of last
blanked
year.
out.
to
I
be
must
honest.
have been so
No, it's
exhausted.
fine. I think it was the day after you'd done Old Dar and E3, so maybe you were just
Was
like,
it? I was
recovering,
fucked then.
Yeah.
Couldn't remember who
There
it
was one restaurant, wasn't it? Someone fell asleep. Was that?
That would have been me.
Yeah, I think that
probably.
might have been
remember
you.
that either.
Do you not? I'm sure.
Is that why I missed the pizza? I just fell asleep into it.
Into the pizza, yeah. I remember when Dave didn't want to eat his pasta.
Oh my goodness!
I remember that day. Yeah.
Do we still talk about that?
It's up to you.
Do you remember that?
To.
I remember it, yeah.
The adios.
No, I'm sure I had brisket at this place.
That's when we met Dan Greenawalt.
Yeah.
Oh,
hold on. No, I don't think we went to California. I don't think we actually went to California Pizza Kitchen last year. We went to go there, and then we ended up going somewhere else. This is where we're sitting on the long table.
Yeah, on the long table.
Yeah,
and I had fucking brisket.
That was. These are two different.
They are
two different occasions.
places.
I think we went to California Pizza Kitchen as well.
No, we didn't. I don't remember it. I don't accept it.
All right, E3 predictions. Where are we going to eat this year?
I'm sorry, but that Penne della Casa, or whatever it was called, I couldn't eat it.
That was the funniest.
That was the worst night of my life.
I looked down the table and Dave was there, like white as a ghost. Just like, I don't want to eat any food.
I got in the car and fell out the other side.
Honestly, it hurts me so much because it's the Dave. I tell you what, you're actually fortunate that I wasn't recording that because that would have been gift, and you'd have been a meme. Like it would have been, Sony at E3 opens one door, falls out of another. That would have been it. Your entire career. Forget the news stories, forget the awards. Would have just been falling out of fucking door.
That was also the E3 though, when I think you took a picture of Dave in a first-person shooter. Do you remember that?
I was in Conan
I need to
so
find
good.
that.
That was such a good picture. Okay, right. Any more E3 stuff before we move on to questions? No, I think we're done. I think we're wrapped up. Okay.
Shall I leave you to it?
You can do whatever you want, Dave.
No, I'll hang around then.
I like Tommy's literally just sat there without his
Tom,
microphone.
I've stolen your
like-
microphone. Shall we share it, Tom? Do you want a Smartie, by the way? Does anyone want a Smartie?
No, share it. Share it, Tom. Like heal the
Why
world.
don't you
video.
share the microphone? It can be done. You just need to
Millibug?
get cozy
You
up.
need,
I'm
to,
right,
you need to get a chair, Dave.
All right, I'll go and get a chair.
All right, okay. So what we're going to do is we have announced to it was Johnny Viper who won the podcast competition last week. The new podcast competition will be up soon. You can find it on the forum, but also be on YouTube.
What's it going to be?
So
What's it going to be?
We don't know that yet. That's kind of all in the
Shit,
works.
okay.
So thanks for that, Jim. Appreciate it for throwing me under the bus. So keep an eye on that. But Johnny Viper, congratulations. And we are going to move on to questions. Now, I may or may not have forgotten to print off the questions. The answer is I did. So I'm literally reading them off my phone for the first time.
That's more legit, I feel.
This could go either way, but we'll ask these questions and we'll go. So the first one is, will Kojima be at E3? Or do you think Konami have him locked in an office somewhere at gunpoint making final touches to Metal Gear Solid? That's from Michael.
Oh, it's just like I can't say because the embargo isn't for the UK event isn't until Thursday. But don't worry about Kojima.
Or Metal Gear.
Don't worry about Kojima's influence on the game, should I say, because it's as you would expect. And I think he'll be there. Because after all,
I do.
he's got a fucking contract, motherfucker.
Exactly. And they won't say anything about it.
You think he'll be there promoting the game? Or you think he'll just be there?
Of course he will. I think he's going to stay at Konami. That's my take on the matter.
There you go. Steve
Whoa,
Burns.
we need to have a conversation, Stephen.
I do think you'll be there because I think it's like when you break up with a girl, right? And before you know you're going to see him again, yeah? And you're a little bit worried about it and you think, oh, how are we going to do it? If you go in and you own that situation and you're like a nice guy, or if she's a nice girl to you, then the tension is broken. You feel better.
Yes,
if Konami,
this is powerful.
If Konami and Kojima just come out like, yeah, it's all good. Look how good our game is. Everyone forgets about it. They focus on the game and go, fuck me, I'm pumped for Metal Gear Solid.
It's like wrestling. It's like, we had
exactly.
We had this spat with Hogan, but Hogan's here now.
And he's power.
He's talking about how good it is.
Exactly. It's true. Right. Evil Tintin. There we go. I read it in the end. What's your worst accident involving games, console, PC, such as a snap disk drive or spilled coffee, etc.?
No, I had by the PSP.
Why? On purpose or by accident?
Yeah, I think that's. I was on holiday, and I was winning the league on PES 6 PSP, and I wanted to win the league by over 100 points, so I needed to win my last game. And I was drawing in the last second. I passed the ball to Falcao and it went out of place and miscontrolled it, so I just fucking snapped.
He says that story all the time, though.
I didn't know that story. The only other thing I had, my PS2, I just got my PS2 as well. Maybe I had a few months, and my old girlfriend's mum stepped on it and broke it, and I was fucking devastated. But she did buy me a new one, and I felt really bad. That's probably the worst.
I deleted Premier Manager 90-something from the East when games came for PC on floppy disks, and I deleted the game off it before I installed it. And I took it back and said it was blank.
Amazing. Did you get your money back?
Yeah, got a new game.
There you go. Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Yeah, you could just say, prove it, motherfucker. Like, I've only been out the shop for the exact amount of time it required me to get home, put it in the drive, and accidentally format it.
Jim, have you done anything disastrous with your video games machine?
No, I haven't. My kids have.
What have they done?
Oh, fucking pennies in the disc slot is that's a common one. That's the PS3 and the PS4 I had to take to a shop to get repaired.
Well,
Can't you put something over it?
do not touch.
No,
I'm
just resigned myself to having all my shit broken.
Just put a bit of paper over it.
I have a sad memory from when I had a launch Japanese PSP.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh man, hardcore.
Did you? They were great. The build quality on those things were amazing.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit noisy, and it had a couple of dead pixels on it. So when the Slim and Lights came out, do you remember those? People were banging on about them. Oh, they're really light. Oh, they're really cool and funky. I thought, right, I'll have one of those. Traded my launch PSP in.
Oh no.
The build quality on those Slim and Lights was shite.
Yeah,
was
they were
shocking.
bad.
Did it break?
No, it didn't break, but I was there like, what have I done? I've traded in my decent PSP for a shit one.
So I've always
And it
got to
cost
try.
me money.
You've got to try, Dave. You've got to try these things.
That's not really a sad story,
It is.
Dave.
I've regretted it ever since.
Every day he wakes up with tears in his
Somewhere
eyes.
out there, well, not anymore because they're dead, but Blockbuster has got my PSP. If you've got it, I want it back.
that's just grown man slightly disappointed with technology exchange.
With
That's
life choice.
Ross McMahon says, I don't know the answer to this. I didn't even know it was a thing. Where the fuck is Tokyo Jungle 2? Did they announce
There doesn't
Tokyo
need
Jungle
to be
2?
a Tokyo Jungle 2.
Who wants that?
Did they announce? I didn't know they announced it.
They haven't announced it, have they?
Okay.
Tokyo Jungle is amazing, though. It is a fucking good game.
Is that it's the one where
it's
the
not just
animals
shagging
take
in it.
over Japan? I'm thinking of the first person shooter one by Sega, the light gun game. That's Go Go
The Lost
Jungle.
World.
Huh?
That's Virtual Cop.
No, not Virtual Cop. The one it's Virtual Cop in a jungle, basically.
My kids like Tokyo Jungle.
That's the one where the animals attack Japan.
start as a
basically.
Power
yeah,
Ranger.
that's right.
And you know, they've never asked, so I've not yet had to explain to them what they're doing when the animals fucking
Give it to each other.
exactly.
Yeah.
But you
Well,
know,
one day.
they
Do your
just-
kids
they
know
just-
about the birds and the bees?
they just think they're fighting. I don't know. They're holding a car.
Well, we're here now, so we may as
I
well.
don't know. I suspect my eldest has got to the point where she knows something's up.
Yeah. But you're kind of holding out at the moment. That makes sense.
So yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Super Hands. What do you think about the price cut in new Xbox One that's been leaked?
It's the same thing that they had. They already cut the price, didn't they?
They love price cuts.
No, Microsoft didn't cut the price. That was a retailer-led promotion. Thank you very much.
News editor Dave Scanwell here to the hard truths.
So they corrected me on that.
But you can still get a 500 gigabyte Xbox One for £300 right now, right?
Yeah, and why
That's
wouldn't
a good deal.
I would do that and then buy a cheap external hard drive. You'll have more space for the same price as 1 tera.
I think it's a really good deal. 300. How much is PS4 at the moment?
Well, it's a lot less
Same?
than 300 when you buy. There was a deal yesterday for, was it an Xbox, Witcher, Elder Scrolls, and what was the other one? Another game that was fairly popular, and it was like $299 or $280.
Really?
Yeah,
Shit, I would have done that. Why didn't I do that?
Still there, Miller.
Is it? Yeah. Shit, I haven't got any money, but I may look into that. Jeez, that's good.
Sell something.
Conji, what game have you put the most hours into? Upsettingly, mine is World of Warcraft. I should have been oot shagging. Thank you, Conji.
I think this is the contingent of the audience that I brought with me.
Mine was the Elder Scrolls. What number is Oblivion? 4. I put 301 hours into it specifically. I remember looking at my save clock the last time I played it. So
Yeah, I think I'm about the same on Oblivion. I think I put over the last 10, 15 years about 600 hours into Morrowind.
damn, that's a lot of time.
Because with Oblivion, you can do all the guilds in one save. And Morrowind, you had to have loads of different playthroughs if you wanted to do everything, because, some guilds locked you out of others if you got so far.
Yeah.
Because they were rivals. And it makes sense, because that's why Morrowind's the best one. So, yeah. God, so many playthroughs on Morrowind.
That's fair enough. I'm going to ask Burns. I think I know the answer.
Pez.
I knew it.
124 hours now.
Yeah. Is it really?
Yeah.
On the PC version of Pez.
Not even that good. You know what? I don't think that's the version I spent between PES 6 and PES 2013.
Yeah.
All I would do is play 6 and play at my friend Ben. in our 2-player Master League. And so that's got to be hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours over those years. Because the ones afterwards were shite.
Yeah.
The PES 6, glory days.
I'm on PES 6.
And they're back.
Loved it.
And they're back.
I haven't played PES in
But
years.
I really
Get back
like
on PES.
I really like PES 6 Xbox 360 version. And I know
that's what I like.
a friend of VideoGamer, John Denton,
He's
looked
what
at
got me into it.
But he prefers the PlayStation 2 version.
Yeah, he does, yeah.
And he looked at me on the way back from a press event. And he's like, oh, man, you love PES 6, right? You're always talking about it. Like, yeah, when I got it from a 360. And he just went, what? And if you've not met John Denton, he's the loveliest man in the world. But he does, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He'll definitely fuck you up.
Oh, yeah.
I just thought, this is it. You're going to get choked out for playing the wrong version. It's like I'm a kid again.
You got it wrong, Steve. Tom, we know the answer to this, don't we?
No, I thought it was probably Football Manager Online.
Yeah.
Or
That's what I thought you were gonna say.
PGR 3, even though that's the one I don't like. It's the least favourite PGR game, but I just played it loads. But I think it's probably whatever PES came out when I was at university, because we used to play it every day.
What year was that?
There's 5 people in this room and 2 have said PES. That's amazing.
I think it was...
Wait a minute. It could be 3.
I think it was whatever, like an early PS2...
Was it PES
Probably
5?
4 or 5, yeah. The one with
4 or 5,
Henri on the
probably.
cover, 5, right?
Hold on, you're a couple of years older than me, so it's probably
It could be like
2 or 3.
2 or 3. I think
Did it have
might be
Kalina on the cover,
it might
orange
be-
cover?
I think it might be 3.
Yeah, I
But
still remember
think
the
it might
first
have been
goal
both.
score
It might
on
have
that.
been 2 and 3, but we played that all the time.
Go on, Dave. I can't believe you're going to say this.
What was the first 360 PES with the yellowish
6.
cover?
6.
That one.
That's you put most hours into of all the games.
Played loads.
That's incredible.
Tons.
Well,
Probably
PES
not my
wins.
most played ever, but it is up
It's
there.
up there, yeah.
But
Wow.
a lot of shooters are
people
up there.
bag on it,
I
but-
played a lot of Gears 3. And
played a lot of Gears 3.
Modern Warfare 2, Battlefield 3, I played loads of those.
Yeah.
but-
Wow, look at that. PES wins. All right, fair enough. William Palmer. I really should have vetted these. Are your digital personas slowly suffocating the real you? Yes.
Well, when people call you and say, it seems the character's taking over the man there, Steve. Someone actually said that to me.
Who said that to
PR,
you?
I'm not going to name names.
I love it
on
when
the
you
phone.
get. I love it when you get the bleed and Miller comes out with something that character would come out with, and it's just like you're slipping, Miller. No, I'm not.
Chuff you. Spug. I'll just read it quickly. Spug Notherson. Will jogging really ruin all my gains? No. Right. Terry Schwartz. Favorite soundtrack in a game? There you go. Standard, nice one. Shadow of the Colossus. Nice and easy.
Everyone knows. Don't even look at me.
Morrowind. Pez. Right. No. Seriously. Does anyone have any other shout-outs they want to do?
GTA, innit?
Which one? Or all
Probably
of them, I guess.
5.
Well, they always pick amazing
It's got
songs.
All Saints in it, hasn't it? Is it
It
All
does.
Saints?
Oh, man.
Does it really? I don't remember that.
GTA has a habit of like picking the best tracks from shit groups as well. Like the Wham song in GTA 5 is amazing.
Actually, Vice City. Take it back. Vice City. 100%.
Actually, I changed my answer to Vice City. Yeah, that's such a good point.
I'm sticking with GTA.
Any other
5.
ones? Any other shout-outs?
Married Galaxy. I'm not sure which
Oh,
one.
actually, the 2's got. They both have, but 2 has amazing
They have
music.
very
Yeah.
good soundtrack. Yeah.
And this is a very interesting, odd question. VideoGamer, so that's weird enough anyway, it's not us, says, who is the shortest in the office? I don't know why anyone want to know that. I don't know the answer.
Brett.
Is
Brett, innit?
is Brett the shortest?
Is it?
No one's really short, though,
I
are they?
thought
Or
I
are
was the
they?
shortest.
I think
Well, I know you're all taller than me.
So I'm about 6'3", so everyone's just short.
Burns
than
is
me.
the tallest.
I just presumed that in my life.
Well, you are the tallest.
Although when I see people who are taller than me in places, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Actually, Dave.
What are you doing?
Just throwing names out there now, but that's about it I can think of. Jim and Dave are now both standing up and comparing heights.
They're quite
Dave,
similar.
I would say Dave is a touch taller, but we're talking.
5'9", so
Okay. I guess so, yeah, maybe 5'10". All right.
Dave's
okay,
6'2", isn't he?
We're going to move on. MK Knight says, what's the best fitness game? Are there any good at all? The UFC fitness game on the Xbox 360 with the Kinect is actually quite good.
I didn't have my headphones on. I couldn't hear a word you said.
I did that for a bit. It's quite hard.
It's hard, that's
Did you
what I
do it
mean.
for
It's
competition?
Well, no.
No, I didn't think you did, Tom. No, anyway.
But it is tough. There's one thing it makes you do. You have to jump up, go down on the floor,
Yeah.
and then lie down essentially, and then get up and jump up again repeatedly, and it just kills you.
People said, what was the one that came out for Xbox One last year, the Ubisoft one?
Shape up.
That game apparently was supposed to be quite good, but I never played it, so I don't know. But there are some good ones out there. But you mean just stay away from stuff like Mel B's Fitness Camp, whatever the hell it was. You bought Mel B's Fitness Camp?
Yep,
right.
I bought it for the Chivos.
No, you did
not.
I did.
How did you get him though? Because you have to dance with
Oh,
Mel
I haven't
B
got
and
any
stuff.
of them.
Oh, right.
I tried it. I thought this is way too much effort.
It's terrible, Dave.
Oh,
How
yeah.
much did you pay?
Oh, 3 or 4 quid.
Oh, that's okay. That's not that bad. But still, Mel B got some money out of that.
Oh,
Never
yeah.
forget. Somewhere
Oh, yeah.
she's well proud. Okay.
Fuck me.
Lucy says, what's your favourite line you've written into an article?
Fucking like mother care.
There we go. Yeah, it's the best one. Anyone else got any other shout-outs they want to do?
The order tag. Ready at dawn, finished by the afternoon.
Yeah.
Whose was that? Was that Burns?
That was
You?
Dave.
You
But
did that one. That's really good.
I had
like
to
that
say
a
in a
lot.
tweet afterwards that it wasn't mine.
I was one of those situations where the credit goes awry.
Yeah.
You get a bit
The thing is,
upset about it.
I can't then put it in as a strap line and then underneath copyright date.
I wasn't bothered.
That is good.
My
Anyone else?
favourite was the strap lines for the Assassin's Creed Unity preview and review. So for the preview, it was Liberty, Equality, 900p.
Yeah, that's a
That's
classic.
good.
And the review was Violence, Baguettes, Violence.
Nice. Those are both brilliant.
There is a magazine who I won't mention for the sake of being nice that wanted a preview where the tagline was just "fuck," and the sub editor forgot to star out the U and the C, so it just said something like, Pro Evolution Soccer 2015. Fuck. It was like,
Cartos is back.
Yeah, exactly. It was
That's the
astonishing.
best.
Anyone else before we move on? No, right. We've done that about VR Ghostwriter, but I've given you a shout out there anyway, just about VR. These are all nonsense. This is why you got to read. Right, Harry Koo, if you could hang out with any video game character for a day, who would it be, and how would you spend your day? What a question. Who do you want to hang out with in a video game character world? Go on, that's up for debate. We've got a couple more, then we'll wrap this thing up. Everyone's actually thinking about it. There's no gut reaction answers. I'll say I'll hang out with Marcus Phoenix.
There's nobody in video games I want to hang out with because if you all put them if you actually met them as real people in a real people context, they're all fucking sociopathic psychos, aren't they?
I'd like to hang out with UFC fighter John Jones because he seems like he's up to some interesting stuff.
Can we do that? Can we?
You'll have some stories, to say the least.
I'd like to hang out with Dwayne Johnson then. There we go.
Oh, damn you, Jim. Damn you, freak to hell. I want to answer this question because it's something I do want to explain. Darren Pill says, will each member of VG get their own 7 Reasons Why video? Yes. A lot of people seem to miss this point. The whole point is the whole 7 Reasons Why thing is depending on the game and what the script is, for lack of a better term, you'll get different characters, quote unquote, doing it. Kevin McDonald, which game will have the better dog? Metal Gear Solid 5 or Fallout 4?
Well,
MGS 5.
I can tell you
Straight
right
in
now that I can't tell you until Thursday. But it's definitely the one that I'm talking about on Thursday because that is the best bit of any game this generation. Oh man,
You're a big softie, really, aren't you,
good.
Burns? You
I love
love it.
dogs, and then and it's in everyone knows this, but you don't just get given the dog; you got to find the dog. So you find him in the wilderness, you put him in the little balloon, and when you come back to Mother Base, there's a puppy and everything. Oh, it's great. Best game. Best game. Give
What do
it
you
The
think
soft
of
side of
Fable 2?
Burns.
What?
Dogs.
What did you
Dogs
think of
for a
Fable
game.
2? But just out of interest.
Fable 2?
Yeah.
I didn't play it.
Oh, okay.
Shot
It had
down.
good
Fair
dog in
enough.
it, though, didn't it?
Why would I play
It
Fable 2?
did have a really
I
good
like
dog.
my dog in that.
I
Yeah.
sacrificed my dog in
That was
there.
one of the
Sig
best
it.
dogs in games. And one of the best
Yeah.
things about that game, they had the dog's AI took up an entire CPU core. I remember Molyn you saying that.
Did it,
E3.
though? Did it?
Did he say it with his hands down his pants? Probably.
Is it the one that
Yeah,
shuts
he was
down
like that,
when you
yeah.
watch DVDs?
Okay, that's it. We're out of questions. Well, we're not, but a lot of them we've already answered. A lot of them are about E3, which obviously we've had a big chat about, so there's no point going over that stuff all over again.
Are we going to say exactly what we're doing for E3
We
next
can
week?
say, I mean, we've got 2 people in the room now that are going to E3. On my right is Mr. David Scammell.
Hey!
On my left is Stephen W. Burns, who will be going out to LA to cover all on the ground stuff for VideoGamer. And obviously, we've said to both of them, anything they can get, either interview-wise or video-wise, we will then integrate into the video stuff. Obviously, keep your eye on VideoGamer.com for all the stuff they're going to do day in, day out. And then as much as we can, Jim and I will be doing stuff on the YouTube channel, video-wise. And because we are jokes, we're going to do it in character. So if you enjoy the Miller Report, you enjoy the old DAR, well, more important, if you don't, you're not going to like our E3 coverage. But if you do, you're going to get it all week. So yeah, that's how we're going to do it. And
Yeah.
hopefully we can integrate everything
You've got to
into
stay
it.
in character for a whole week, Miller. By
could
the end
kill
of that,
me,
by
yeah.
the end of that week, you're going to be the Miller Report character. You're
Well,
going
I
to be
just went-
Miller Report Miller. You're not. Simon Miller's going to die.
Maybe.
And
Well, if that's the case, everyone's going to hate me within seconds.
I'm going to go home and be a total prick to my kids. Listen,
But yeah, so that's what. So any video that goes up next week will be either presented by your old Dar or the Miller Report character.
Yeah.
So you can look forward to that. But yeah, obviously keep an eye on the videos and VideoGamer Tom for everything that Scammell and Burns do.
I think we'd said before we'd like to do some audio stuff while we're out there. It's just so hard to keep on top, but
and get it uploaded as well.
Yeah, it's the internet that's the biggest problem more over there. But hopefully we'll have stuff going up on YouTube as well.
Man, honestly, anything you guys can throw back will go straight up. We don't even need to edit that much. We can just get it up there so people can see you out and about.
Yeah,
yeah. People want raw Burns. People want raw Scammell.
Yeah, and you guys going to be periscope? You're going to be periscoping. I know that much, but
depends on the data.
Yeah, but Burns fucking periscopes his lunch and shit. Isn't he? So.
Hey man, back off. With E3, it's one of those things where it is the ultimate case of best laid plans.
Yeah.
So you essentially have to invade Los Angeles. You get there, you have a whole itinerary of things you want to see, and stuff always gets bumped and stuff gets moved. But yeah, Dave is right. At the end of the day, kind of internet and everything else permitting, we'll be just recording some stuff, sending it back, and then you guys can chop some sense into it, or just put it up raw if that's what you want to do. Because it's always good to have, as we have done before, reaction, like football, immediately afterwards. Don't think, the sort of stuff that you kind of consider while you're on the show floor that day, and then you go, oh, this was all right. What was the best thing you saw? What was the best thing you saw? Because that's one of the highlights, I think, of E3, is coming from if you're working there, is going into the media room, seeing the rest of the guys, and going, how was Hitman or Deus Ex or whatever, and you're like, oh, it's fucking brilliant, or it's okay. Usually the latter is me, obviously. How's Pez? It was amazing. It was the best game ever made. So we'll try and get that across.
Sometimes you get screwed, though. I remember being so excited after I saw Need for Speed Rivals at E3 a couple of years back. Yeah. Best thing ever. Game comes out. Not so hot.
Dragon Age Inquisition last year. People were talking about downgrading this year with The Witcher 3. If people had seen what I saw at Dragon Age Inquisition last year when they show it running, fuck my life, did that take a jump down. It was the best thing I'd ever seen, and it came out like, what is this? But
say we want about Crytek. Those things don't go down. They go up, if anything.
Crytek, what are they going to do with virtual reality? Who knows? Not me. Right. We're going to bring this to
Cryviasis.
We're going to bring this to a close on that note. Like I say, all our E3 coverage next week. You can find us on Twitter at VideoGamer.com, Facebook, VideoGamer.com, YouTube, VideoGamer.com, TV. Just type in VideoGamer to different social media stuff and you'll find us. But for the time being, thank you very much, Stephen W. Burns.
Thank you.
Jim Trinker.
All right.
David Scammell.
All right.
Tom Orry.
All right.
We'll be back next week.